Oh boy, a new season. It's my time to shine. Time to grind rank and get masters for the first time in my life. I'm gonna do my research, watch all the skill
Hey,
cap
everyone.
videos and review my replays. I'll play at least one game a day. Season 9 is mine. Yeah, that's what it is. We're going. Oh, it's going good. It's going great. Look at that. Wow, it's going. For sure. It's going. It's going. It's gone. I'm gonna play at least one game a month. Let's try that. A lot of us out there have the same mediocre ranked experience year after year. You start the season freshly motivated, ready to climb higher than ever before, but lo and behold, after a few weeks, maybe a few months, you get hit by a bad loss streak and a downpour of AFKs, trolls, and flamers, and suddenly you've lost that fire inside you. You just can't find it in yourself to queue up for ranked anymore. So, just like last year and all the years before, you're back to norms and ARAMs for the rest of the season, playing maybe a decay game every 30 days if you're ranked high enough. And then the season ends and you go through the exact same thing come next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. But you might be fine with this sort of thing. You know, League of Legends is just a game after all, and what are you really achieving by getting a virtual rank up in a video game? You can put it that way, and that's sensible enough, but if this sort of thing bugs you, if ending up Gold 4 for seasons on end simply does not jive with you, then this video hopes to remedy that in one way or another. Let's start with this. Your issue at core seems to be that you can't create or manage a sustainable system that gets you to play ranked consistently throughout the season. If graphed out, you would want your level of ranked play to look like this. And this is what your current system of ranked play looks like. You get your big burst of playtime in the first few weeks or months, and when tragedy strikes, you quit. If you stop playing, there's no way you can achieve the rank you want, unless you happen to do it in those first few weeks or months of playing, but then this video isn't for you, is it? Similarly, if you're getting a good couple thousand games of ranked in each season, this video is also not for you. You've got another problem. And one more disclaimer, if you have ranked anxiety and that's your main obstacle stopping you from playing ranked throughout the season, then I'm sorry, but I don't address that here. Still, I hope you can find some valuable insights in this video. Back on track, the main solution I'm going to offer to creating a sustainable method of playing ranked throughout the whole season is to simply hold back at the start of the season. You think about a 9-month long endeavor. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You've got to pace yourself. There's a couple reasons I believe this works, and they're kind of related to each other. One is that you really do want to play ranked once the season starts. I mean, after a long and lazy 2.5 months of preseason, your competitive spirit is refueled. So if you hold back, don't play as much as you want to, say restrict yourself to only 2 or 3 games a day, then you're saving that fire. The temptation to play is broiling and stewing inside of you, and you're not letting it all go at once. And so, in this way, you sustain your desire to play ranked for longer. This works for me at least, I hope it works for you. The other reason is that if you instead just go all out at the start of the season, you're going to encounter burnout. You can easily kill your desire to play ranked this way, and it's not unlikely that this happens at the same time you have that bad experience, be it a loss streak or running into a lot of unsavory characters, let's call them. These two unfortunate happenings combined don't produce a good look for your year-long plans for ranked, and that bad experience, by the way, is inevitable. You work out the math, it's close to something like guaranteed that you have a 3 or 4 game loss streak by the time you get 100 to 200 games in. Even minor loss streaks like those suck. Imagine if you just happen to draw the short straw, and that 3 game loss streak is actually a 6 game loss streak. What about a 10 game loss streak? Not unheard of. How are you going to deal with this? One good way is to accept that misfortune will strike, which leads me nicely to my next suggestion. I've got a coin and 2 sides of it. The old adage, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Be ready to accept any and all bad things that will happen to you in ranked, but at the same time, acknowledge all the good that does happen to you and hold that close. Hold it really close, because it will help you power through that muck and suck when you're playing your heart out and still going 0-7, and your match history is full of red. Don't be discouraged. Don't quit. I know there's a lot of us who are very badly affected by the losses, myself included. But just think back to when your match history was full of blue, when you were popping off every game, winning, and it was because you deserved to win. We're going to get a little philosophical here, but you have to understand that bad has to happen if you want the good. You recognize this balance, you accept the loss streaks because you acknowledge that you had a good win streak earlier this same week. So it's only fair that the bad comes too, And thinking about this, it doesn't hurt so much anymore. Because you know that now that the bad has happened, the good must be coming again soon. Just have faith in the process, and I know that's hard to do sometimes, but it's a necessity. At the same time, I like to say that if you have a sense of justice in League of Legends, you will lose your mind. Karma isn't so real that everything balances out perfectly. You can get unlucky. In one season, you could have twice the AFKs on your team than the enemy team gets, for example. Don't feel maligned or victimized though, because then you get in a real bad headspace. I think I want to save this particular discussion for another video, because I could elaborate much more on this, and we're getting into the realm of non-relevance. So other things you can do to make sure you don't quit ranked partway through the season: find a duo partner. Much like exercising, if you have other people, even just one other person who you exercise with, you both motivate each other and prevent one another from copping out. You rely on each other. And if you quit, you're letting your friend down. That there is extra incentive to stay in the game, to stay in the ranked grind. Also, I don't have to tell you this, but playing with people you know in League of Legends makes the game more fun and more bearable, especially as opposed to playing with 4 randoms. You got someone you can banter with, bond with, vent to, and most importantly for the game itself, this is someone you can communicate and synergize with over voice chat. Very good. Now, say you apply all I've talked about. You still might find yourself halfway through the season getting burnt out, not feeling the ranked grind anymore. But you haven't reached your goals yet, and you do not want to have a repeat of the previous years. If you're this desperate, you might want to look to external motivation to rekindle your inner flame. What I mean by external motivation are things like the world's music videos. You watch Warriors, Legends Never Die, and Rise all in one sitting, you're probably going to feel pretty fired up and ready to grind some rank. There are other similar methods, of course. You can be creative, make up your own personal methods of motivation. Maybe if you race against a friend to your desired rank, you can get yourself back into ranked play via your competitive spirit. Alternatively, watch something like this. Watch something like this. You'll definitely get fired up for some more ranked, but there are dangers to this technique. First, this only works temporarily. Motivation like this is only going to last you a few days at maximum, and if you keep reusing the same sources of motivation, you eventually wear out their motivational power. Second, if you're at the point where you feel you need to use this external motivation to just get you going, you might already be in a bad place. It might be that you haven't been winning enough, the game is tilting you, or something similar. And if the motivation you get from this only sends you into more tilting losses, then you get burned even worse. So consider this a last resort, if you will. There are still more methods I have to cover. Doing some introspective analysis just to check up on yourself, by yourself personally, can be very helpful. This isn't me just telling you what to do word for word anymore, because each and every one of you watching this video is a unique person. You all have your own unique traits, strengths, and weaknesses. This applies in League of Legends too. Reflect. Think about what makes you want to play League of Legends. What makes you not want to play, your reasons for playing the game and ranked specifically. Have you lost your enjoyment of the game? Considering things like this may help you realize the unique forms of motivation you can use to fuel your ranked grind, or, quite oppositely, you might realize that the ranked grind is not for you. This is a very real possibility. Though in this video, I am trying to encourage you to keep up the ranked play throughout the season, as I've said in numerous ways many times, it might just turn out that ranked is unhealthy for you. You have to be ready to confront this as a reality, as I wish I mentioned this earlier in the video, but my organizational skills are poor. To mirror the first point I made, I'm going to talk about pacing yourself again, but in a different light. So if you're running into those losses or bad games that are killing your ambitions, maybe just take a break from League of Legends, especially if you're tilted. You probably hear it stated quite often that you shouldn't keep playing through tilt, because it's true, it just ends up in more losses, end of discussion. Taking a break from League can do you wonders for your mental, your will to play, your motivation, and your overall health, because you've stopped your habit of sitting sedentary in front of a screen, even if for just a brief few days. If you really don't want to take a break from the game, then try to compromise. Play some norms or ARAMs to ease your mind. Just because you're not playing all ranked, only ranked 24/7, doesn't mean you're not dedicated to the grind or anything like that. And maybe I should stop calling it a grind, because the word I used earlier, marathon, is probably a healthier way of looking at it. Just like my most recent video, the last thing I wish to tell you is to be patient. If you're going for a rank you've never reached before, if you're trying to improve beyond your current skill level, of course it's going to take some time. Improvement does not happen overnight, it does not happen in a week. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. And if you quit now, you'll never actually know how close you really were to success. Take a bunch of these old motivational phrases, speeches, whatever. They all apply, they can all help you get through the tough times in League of Legends. Now to summarize, don't spam games or actually you can read yourself, go ahead. Okay, good luck.